Hey, everybody, welcome back to the SkyLounge podcast, episode number 353, and we have no title as of yet. So, we're going to be delving into some untitled rant where your boy has no script to speak of whatsoever, and we're just going to dump out what the brain is thinking. As of right now, what I am doing is watching some baseball between the Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs in Dodger Stadium. Good shit. But it's after the Dodgers just got swept by the Padres. And I know this isn't a real official sports ball talk, but the fucking game is right in front of me. And the goddamn Dodgers are staring me right in the fucking face. And what I can tell you about the Dodgers is that despite poor forms here and there, I don't really get too emotionally unstable about that shit. Mainly because it's a 162 game regular season, guys. All right? You have to have some patience, kids. Not just with sports ball, in life. Duh! Most obvious fucking talk yet, right, kids? But some shit, you gotta be patient. Whether it be, a job, whether it be, line at the DMV, whether it be waiting for food, which I'm also doing right now because your boy's a little too lazy and put some food on delivery. I'm gonna sweat out bullets eating some goddamn Indian food here, kids. But yeah, you gotta exercise patience whenever you can. Now, no one person is perfect in practicing patience. That shit takes time, ironically speaking, right? It also takes a little bit of suffering. It does take a little bit of failure in between to understand patience. And again, I'm not perfect at it. That shit, I'm not. I never claimed to be. But having, failed in certain aspects of patience in my younger days, look at me fucking saying younger days like I'm a fucking 90 fucking 5-year-old man. But, you get less emotionally tangled about it after a while, right? Where certain things where you're just waiting doesn't work out, you get coiled inside your own fucking feelings in your own head, and you can't think proper, and oftentimes you just fucking relieve that with some fapping, but kids, trying to exercise some patience in that shit too. Not just fapping, but all the little vices I partake in here and there. So, if you don't know, boys and girls, I haven't smoked weed for about 8 days now. Yeah. And I haven't drank since like June 13th, which I'm not going to be that fucking pansy ass asshole that says, oh, drinking's for, it's bad, it's not great for you. Dude, drinking's delicious. Fucking alcohol's delicious, but the fucking physical toll it takes on my body the next day, I'm not about that shit. Even if I have 2 goddamn beers, already the body's like, dude, why did you drink that crap? It doesn't fucking fill you up in any sort of nutritional value. Like, bro, it doesn't help you out. It's gonna make your fucking brain right? But whilst doing all that shit, I mean, weed was really the thing that I kind of thought, I wonder how long I could, go without it. Because every time I kept smoking, I saw myself more and more hating the smoking aspect, hating the idea that, man, is this all I'm doing right now? Just smoking? It's kind of boring. So I guess abstinence from that shit kind of makes me kind of appreciate that shit a little bit more. Where if you have some sort of, I suppose, aching in the body, it's instant relief if you smoke up weed. And I'm telling you, it just goes right away. That THC, so strong. But whilst we're taking a hiatus from the dank, I mean, it is nice, man, just this level of clarity that I'm getting now, where, again, the whole body aches and pains and shit, you feel that. You need to feel that. You need to understand pain is reality. That's what keeps you here. That's what keeps you tethered to this earth, right? Like, You are the vessel in which you experience everything in this world. And that vessel sometimes will ache in pain. That's reality, motherfucker. And the problem with people sometimes, and most times, is when you feel that instant pain, you want to relieve and find remedies as soon as possible. And sometimes those remedies don't happen to be as helpful as weed. Well, let's be honest. And yeah, I mean, I always say this all the fucking time. Weed is still a drug. Marijuana is straight up a drug, kids. Let's not fucking beat around the bush on that shit. All right? It's a psychological shifting. It's a fucking psychological shifting goddamn substance, right? It does shit to your brain, okay? And no matter how much you say, oh, you can't get addicted to weed, your brain starts seeing dependency in that little greenery. So yes, you still do get addicted to it, kids. But off of that shit right now, you get to assess, you get to think, you get to analyze this shit. But yeah, simultaneously, I'm not a fucking perfectionist motherfucker. I mean, at one point, once this little guinea pig experiment, I feel, has netted me some sort of advantage, I'm gonna go ahead and, delve right in a little bit. Puff, puff, puff. Why the hell not, right? Enjoy some baseball in the more like dazed out fashion where, look at those balls fly. But right now it's more like, why can't we just get a goddamn hit? Why can't we get a motherfucker on base? Why is that? And yes, while I am recording right now, there is a Vegas Golden Knights game going on, Game 6. I have no idea what the hell's going on in third period right now. All I know, and for the last time I checked the score, it was like 13 minutes left, still tied 2-2. But who the hell knows? By the time after this recording, we'll know what the fuck happens at the end. Yet, patience. Right? It's all about that patience shit, where once you wait, once you just do a little bit of that waiting, the results are there. Now, is patience always worth it? No, not always. Of course not. I mean, think about this, man. After all the goddamn shit I talk about patience in this early part of the episode, and then by the end of the episode, I finish recording and all that shit, and check the score, and realize the Vegas Golden Knights are defeated, I would be pissed off about the fruit that patience bore, right? But I'm also talking about patience. My little puppy, she's so patient. She's a little doggo, right? Love her to death. Love these little two puppies, even though they annoy the shit out of me sometimes. But little poopuchines. But damn, man, it's just been a hot fucking day. And you'll notice that I haven't really fucking changed out of my clothes at this point. It's because I want to rep the Knights out. They're fucking playing the playoffs. But once I get this goddamn Indian food in, kids, with exercising all that patience, you already know the boy's gonna be sweating bullets. That fucking spicy level number 9 lamb curry, so goddamn delicious, but makes me sweat all the goddamn time. There's no hiding that. But it's worth it, man. It's worth it. On a hot day like this, you sweat everything out, then you take a nice warm shower, come outside, and it's cool as a refrigerator. Yes, I'm going to continue to watch baseball and read some manga. Back in, I guess, high school, maybe college, I was kind of ashamed of that shit, where admitting to reading manga or admitting to my hobbies or my likes, where you want to follow the trend, you want to follow the people who are within that trend, aka the cool kids, where yes, you want to belong, you want the sense of loneliness to kind of disappear, where, oh cool, there are people like me, yeah. But years later, I see all my time in high school and college trying to fit in, and it's like the dumbest shit I've wasted my time doing. I spent time developing my own sense of what I like and what I don't like, but again, it is through failure. It is through this idea of patience that we get to learn, man. But unless you're willing to learn from your mistakes, learn from your failures. You're going to be in a cyclical, mode of living. And I found myself kind of doing that for quite some time. And I feel within like the last 12 to 11 months, shit's kind of opened up a little bit in my mind. Maybe not that long, maybe 6 or 7 good months here. But life has a funny way of showing you shit for patience, right? Again, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's just right in between, and you don't really have to have a feeling about it. Just objective, right? Neutral. But emotions is what makes us humans, right? And emotions truly does keep us to this realm of feeling shit out and all that crap, which... Kids, this is the problem with the Untitled Rants. It drags on! But this constant theme of patience, have that with me, kids. We're going to bear through this shit. Much like how A.J. Pollock going to try to bear through this inning, bottom of the second, and 315 and 857 OPS at home. Okay, he's not bad, but the Dodgers have been injured for quite some time. They haven't been 100%, which annoys the shit out of me. But therein lies the beauty, kids, right? Therein lies the beauty of sports ball, where you don't really know what's going to happen, right? But there's that expectation, the emotions behind it that really creates that level of fandom. It's curious because, I always talk about this where I wasn't a big sports ball fan for a long time. I mean, up until 2014. I ask anybody who knew me before then, where sports never fucking entered my life. Never in a fucking thought or any sort of intentional viewing. None of that shit. It was more like, oh, there's sports on? Fuck that. Is there anything else? No? Okay, I'm going to sleep. Or I'm going to jerk off. But how times change things, man. And, within sports, I've learned so much, man. Meritocracy, the idea of never giving up, right? I mean, which, of course, that's just a human nature, but you get to see that exemplified in these high-level athletes. And, it kind of motivates you a little bit. In a weird way, it does. Where you hear about backstories, like, oh, this dude came from nothing. And then for me, it's like, well, I have some stuff. Why the fuck am I being a lazy bitch about this? Come on now. I got no excuse here. But, you could say all these things and try to tinker shit around here and there, but it's hard. It's hard to work on yourself, man. It's hard to self-assess. It's hard to look in the mirror straight up and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? What the fuck is wrong with you? It's hard to do that. But once you put that shit into practice, man, you get to enjoy the process of working on yourself, right? And that, to me, I think has helped me a lot within the last few years, where I'm not looking at other people. I'm not getting jealous of somebody in a different status or a different, tax bracket or a different fucking weight, different fucking height, different fucking social circumstance. Like, when I was much younger, here's an example. When I was much younger, back in college, I wanted to bang as many bitches as I can, all right? Pardon my French, kids, but I wanted to bang as many fucking bitches as I could. And, post-college, you start working, you use money to buy yourself into some punani. Yeah, you get to realize that, banging bitches isn't all there is to life. There's more to life. You have to fucking focus on that shit. Stop getting worried about what other people are doing. Okay, stop worrying about what you don't have, right? In comparison to others. Work on what you do have. Work on what you can do to get better for yourself. But that idea of self-improvement, assessment never really came in. I mean, I always talked it, but I never did it. Which, again, not perfect right now. Not perfect. Want to get better every day. I do. But it's hard, man. It's hard. Like not smoking weed. I mean, it's kind of hard, man. I mean, of course, I want to fucking come home, relax, cool air, smoke a nice big fucking, I guess what the fuck do you call that shit? It's not a cup. There's a fucking specific measure of the unit of measurement that you have to put on there. But anyhow, yeah, I fucking put that shit on my goddamn bong and smoke that shit up. Of course I want to fucking smoke. Of course I do. But at the same time, nah. Not smoking is kind of paying dividends right now. I've lost like 5 pounds. Because I'm not force fucking feeding myself after psychologically tricking the body into saying, hey, you're empty, you need stuff. In reality, you don't, fat fuck. You don't need anything. Why don't you shut the fuck up and maybe just be satisfied with the meal you have, eh, fat fuck? And yeah, back then, younger, or hell, even maybe like a year or two ago, I couldn't really have those honest conversations with myself. Always some sort of excuse, always some sort of fucking mental gymnastic to get myself out. And yeah, I mean, you want to be the best version of yourself, but you have to also, again, exercise patience. You have to put in the work. And, in a sense, you have to kind of kill off the emotions there of trying to look towards the horizon to other people and to just constantly compare and try to, work from there. Work from a place on the outside in instead of inside out, which, I know, it's weird conceptual shit we're talking about today, kids, but whilst I am talking, I'm going to write shit down so that way we also burn some goddamn time while we're doing that. But it's just a hot fucking day where I'm just trying to brain dump shit out on the random after just a whole day of observation and just walking and mucking around. But, man, I can't stand at times people. Not at times, I just can't stand people in general. That's the bitter truth, boys and girls. People test my patience all the fucking time. They do. And, there's a part of me that wants to kind of commit social suicide in the sense of just saying fuck you to everybody and just pissing off to the goddamn woods somewhere. I know that's not how this goddamn game works in this hellhole that we call society. This clown world that we call society. This world in general. You gotta play the game. You gotta play within the rules. Sometimes it sucks. Right? Sometimes you just want to stay indoors, not talk to people for a fucking couple of days, listen to your music, cool the fuck down, write your thoughts down on paper. I don't know if people still do that shit. And most people just type it out, but I like the process of actually physically writing on a sheet of paper. Although, today's episode certainly doesn't speak that shit, right? But I do daily writings, man. I do. I have to. Mainly to brain dump, of course, but also understanding that writing and, keeping physical copies of said writing, I mean, they're kind of a lost art at this point, and I'm just turning into this fucking old man who will tell you that, hey, you should write shit down. I mean, don't just type and flash your fingers while you're doing this shit. I mean, any fucking jackass can type words on a fucking keyboard, okay? It's not hard. And I know there are people who are certainly the older generation bracket than I am who have a very hard time dealing with personal computers or laptops because the keyboard and the way your fingers move and shit, it's very difficult to fucking do all that. But I'm just a modern day boy who sees just the absolute uselessness at times of technology and how this world is trending into this point of using technologies as our masters and our own personal appendages instead of just a resource and tool for us to improve upon ourselves as human beings, which are the ultimate creators. We are the ultimate fucking beings on top here, all right? Even against my little puppy baby boy, who, I mean, I don't say dominion or any of that shit, but I love my little baby boy and his smelly breath, but yeah, man, it's turning into a lost art writing and physical things, right? I mean, material goods aren't all, but writing, books, I mean, certainly those things are becoming more and more extinct by the day, I feel, with more digital copies of books. You know, you got Amazon with their whole Kindle shit just going ape shit at times with their prices, and the way they mark up certain books, man, it pisses me the fuck off. And I'm going to dive into some controversial shit here. I really, really want a physical copy of Mein Kampf. And that's not to do all this whole shit of, oh my God, anti-Semitic, all that shit. Shut the fuck up. It's for educational purposes. I actually really fucking want to read Mein Kampf. You know, a proper fucking translated version, or if I can get a proper German text of it in a book. And I would learn German just to read that book, right? Because you want to understand perspective directly from the person themselves. Because right now, what we know about Hitler is what? Is what, kids? Is based on Western education that has been pretty much washed to the point where you don't talk about Germany the proper way. But if I say that to actual people, I'll be called an anti-Semite. I'll be called a Hitler worshiper, but I would like to see true history. I would. But when you try to seek objective truths in this world, you're met with this subjective wall of fury and hatred and vitriol for trying to understand, right? And I always get into this conversation whenever I talk about, you know, Adolf Hitler and Mein Kampf and World War II in general, where I always tell people you don't know full history because we only get one perspective, and that is the winner's perspective, especially within politics, within, you know, world wars and battles and etc. But when you learn about numbers, economics, statistics, all these fun things, you start realizing that, well, narratives aren't always a fucking thing. I know people want to stick to narratives all the fucking time, right? But numbers, man. That will reveal the truth. I mean, of course, people extrapolate numbers in all the wrong fucking ways possible. Much like how every politician, every goddamn government right now are misconstruing and really misusing statistics for propaganda purposes. Right? All this shit right now, lockdowns, variants, all these things, they are programmed garbage. They are purposeful propaganda to incite fear. And you motherfuckers don't have the patience nor the fucking, I don't know, common sense to question shit. You fall into the fear. Now, I was once there too. Where if mass media says some shit like, oh, there's a variant, we're all gonna die, I would probably believe you and said, oh yeah, what are we gonna do? But now I'm at this point like, why are you saying that? What are you marketing towards? Who are you fucking pushing this to? And whose fucking money is going up while you selling this shit? Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, I don't know what the fuck, but yeah. Your profit margins are way up, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because you're forcing goddamn foreign substances into people's body for experimentation and livestock tracking. But yeah. Keep telling me that you're out for the safety of people. Yeah. Again, kids, you have to exercise patience when it comes to things like this, where fear will make you rush into shit. It triggers the emotional part of your fucking self where you don't think straight, you just fucking get all aggro about it. But no. Have some patience. Question shit. Otherwise, you're just a lamb to the slaughter. Oh, Jock Peterson. Oh, that's nice. Jock's on base right now, kids. Or he's at bat right now. Why did I say on base? What the fuck? Yeah, he's at bat right now against Walker Buehler. But yeah. Jock got his ring. Isn't that nice? Jock exercised some patience. Comes back, returns to his old stomping grounds, and gets his old ring. Good on you, Jock. Good on you. Again, patience, kids. Patience. And the one thing I will ask for today is patience until tomorrow's episode, because I am running out of shit to say, and I am getting pretty fucking hungry. I'm pretty sure the food's going to be here in like 5 minutes, but am I going to exercise some patience in that and just end the episode? Probably not. Stretch this fucking shit out 5 more minutes, kids. 30 for 30 and 30. There's an intentional reason why we call it that, although there are a few episodes in the stretch of this month that I know for sure I've missed out on in terms of time. So got to remedy that. Definitely got to remedy that. We only got, 5 days left in June. Got to do this proper. Got to do it right. Got to make sure my goddamn 30 for 30 and 30 doesn't go down to the shitters. So definitely for sure, kids. I mean, we're going to do more sports ball, of course, tomorrow. I'm thinking of maybe a rewind episode on Sunday where we take a look at some old episode, commentate over it. And then probably by Wednesday, another sports ball there. Spread those up. No, actually Sunday I'm going to have to fucking do an outside episode again, which, yeah. Those are fun, honestly. I love the episodes where I just get to go outside, talk shit, which is essentially the same thing as here, but, getting some sunlight, fucking getting some, wind and listening to the fucking sounds of the birds and shit like that helps me think a little bit more, a little bit better, a little bit less constipated kind of fucking podcast feel, which this is exactly what this shit feels like. I've had similar incidents this month with situations like this, so trying to get better at this shit, kids. And of course my patience is kind of running thin with what's happening with Vegas Golden Knights game in game 6. Very nervous about it, hoping I don't read the worst fucking result possible, but patience is a funny thing, isn't it, kids? If you don't exercise it, you are doomed to just cyclical failures. You learn from it. I mean, it's kind of a masochistic, fun sense of self-improvement, actualization, self-reflection, all that shit. But it's a curious time. It's a very curious time. But that curious time is getting me fucking hungry right now. So, yeah. This time for real, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode and tune into tomorrow where we will discuss some more sports ball, in-depth talk about Game 6 probably tomorrow and the entirety of the series. And, of course, probably going to be talking about that Game 7 between the Isles and the $100 million team, the Tampa Bay Bolts, Lightnings, whatever. Fuck them. But, kids, till tomorrow, I will be fucking off, and so shall you. So, fuck off.